I'm excited.
Yes, I am too. How are you?
Very well, and how are you, Ndlangamandla?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm recovering quite well, so I'm fine. Finally. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so how's the day going? What time is it now there? 11:45? Yeah, right? 11:45.
The day is very hectic. The company I'm working for, or let's say, I actually finished end of the year last year by 15 December. But because the project I'm working on, I'm the community liaison officer on that project. It's not yet completed. We're renovating a school, refurbishing and renovating a school. So my job is to between the contractor, the community, the Department of Infrastructure Development. And because the project is a bit delayed because of rain, because of late starting late. So people are waiting for their payments. I'm busy fighting with the contractor. They're fighting with me, the community, for their invoices. So it's been a rough morning for me, but
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I assume, right? It's just like on big projects like the one you're doing, it can't be easy just to manage so many people at the same time, no, and so many different backgrounds at the same time.
It's
Can
really
you tell
tough.
us? Sorry.
Having to deal. Sorry, Ndlangamandla. Having to deal with all the different personalities. It's tough. It gets hectic at times. Sometimes I feel like running away, but I stay committed because I want to see the project completed and the school being given back to the community in a beautiful, perfect, renovated state. So I hang in there.
So Ronell, tell us who Ronell Hartman is and what is your project?
Okay, Ronell Hartman. I'm a 39-year-old female. I'm turning 40 in a couple of days or almost 2 months. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I love entrepreneurship. I love the freedom it gives you. I love that you are the only one that limits yourself. My project basically is about plus size women. I'm a plus size gal, and I love the plus size community. I think it's a very much neglected community. And my business is all about empowering plus size women in terms of dressing, in terms of giving them their confidence back, in terms of giving them the freedom to express themselves through dressing. Also hosting events and seeing more representation for plus size women in the industry, in terms of modeling, in terms of TV, everywhere, having plus size women just come out from their little corners and be themselves, turn into social butterflies. That's who Ronell is, and that's what makes me tick.
Because is there a lot of social pressure on image in South Africa?
Most definitely, yes. Although here in South Africa, let's say curvier women are more appreciated, but it's not always also easy. There's still the stigma of overweight and obesity, and you look like you're going to die at any moment. You're a few seconds from a heart attack away. And as a brand, what we promote, we encourage our clients to live a healthy lifestyle, but it shouldn't be about, because a lot of them puts this pressure on themselves that I'm not going to do anything until I lose the weight. I'm not going to socialize until I lose the weight. I'm not going to dress a certain way until I lose the weight. So what we are saying to them is, okay, while you are in that until I phase, in the meantime, live your life. In the meantime, be social. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? They're going to become depressed because you're sitting there waiting for something to happen. So encourage yourself by going out. Encourage yourself by dressing up. There's always pressure. There's a lot of bullying of plus size people. There's a lot of, I saw a video the other day of 3 ladies walking in Durban, and they're nice and chubby. And instead of, okay, everyone has their opinion, they can express themselves whichever way they want, but they were staring at them and making snide remarks about their bodies. So it's and no one was saying anything. So for me, that it really infuriated me, because I don't think you have the right to make someone feel uncomfortable in their body. It's not your body. That person has the right to wear whatever they want, wherever they want.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I assume, Ronell, that the change, right, and the acceptance starts with accepting yourself, right? So I assume that it's very difficult to be accepted, to be social, if you don't accept yourself in the first place. So how do you think that this can happen? What are the ways you can do and the things you can do to start accepting yourself? Because I read in some of the inputs I just read from you, just like, as you said, it's important to have a healthy lifestyle, to live in your comfort zone. How do you promote like women? I assume this is focused on women mainly, right? But how do you think that you can promote and people can promote and start making a change on that?
What I always say to my clients, to the ladies, I always encourage is this body that you have, it's been through so much for you. This body has carried you through all your traumas, all your hurts, all your pains, all your joys. So you have to love it. It might not be exactly what you want it to look like, but start by just loving yourself in the current state that you are. Whatever else you desire will come afterwards, but it starts with self-love. And it starts with the voice in your own head, the person the person that you are. You need to be able to speak to yourself and encourage yourself. And if you are able to encourage yourself, whatever anyone else says about you will not have much effect. So it boils down to your own confidence. And you have to constantly work on it. Same like bathing. Every day you have to bath. So if you don't bath, after a few days, you're going to smell. So with encouragement, it's something that needs to happen every day. You encourage yourself every day. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I'm a force to reckon with. I love you, my body. You've been through so much for me. And you have to appreciate yourself. If you don't do it, no one else is going to do it.
What's usually the target of people that you're working with? Is it like young women, middle-aged women, children, I mean, little girls? So what's the target you are just promoting your project to?
Any woman that considers themselves a plus size, and even young girls, because I find a lot of young girls, that's actually where the damage is done. Myself, I was never skinny. I've never been a skinny girl, and I was able to do so many things. I participated in sports. I can still do backflips in a swimming pool, being big as I am, because I believe in myself. So I encourage young girls from even chubby babies, I encourage them. So young, all the way up to 90-year-old women, saying to them that you have to believe in yourself. Don't allow others to paint an image of you and then you feel sad. You have to believe in yourself. It starts with you. So for me, there's no specific age group that I focus on. I'm currently working with the Coachability Foundation, where we're doing a sanitary pads distribution. I'm actually starting the project end of this month, and I'm running a bit behind because of the many demands of my job, kids, working, husband. So end of this month, I'm starting the project, launching the project, where we distribute pads to young girls. And that will also give me the chance to have contact with young girls, chubby ones, skinny ones, but to encourage them, and also to encourage the ones that don't look like plus size to not be bullies, because that's ultimately what it's about. What got me into the plus size industry was the bullying part, because I always believe God has given me a strong voice. I speak against ills. I'm not afraid to speak against things that I don't agree with. So when I discovered that my voice is not, I don't fear to speak out. If I see something wrong, I'm going to address it. So when I discovered my voice, and being a plus size girl, it's almost like I knew this is where I need to be. This is what I need to do for a living.
Okay, just picking up the thread that you just talked about, having a strong voice as a woman in South Africa. I am sure that this has put yourself in quite some situations with other people, right? Because when people are not used for anyone in general to speak for themselves. So I'm sure that you have faced some not pleasant situations, right?
Yes, most definitely. You know, especially as a plus size woman, because we live in a society where especially in South Africa, they plus size women tend to be withdrawn and a bit timid and more the quiet side. But I've noticed the trend. Plus size women are coming out and they're speaking for themselves and they're raising their voices. I have just been blessed to have had this from a young age. I've never been scared to express myself. If something is wrong in my eyes, I will express myself without fear or favor. So oftentimes, what people will try and do is try and if I can say, put me in my place and make snide remarks about my weight, my body size, and I can assure you, I answer them. I have an answer for everything. So I've never where I felt I need to keep quiet or I shouldn't comment on social media because they're going to make remarks about my weight. I'm very comfortable in my weight. I'm very comfortable in my body size. So yeah, it's been like that. And you know, as a woman, I think also what strengthened my voice. I worked in a predominantly male environment. I'm an aircraft metal worker by technician. I did aircraft maintenance and manufacturing. So I worked with a lot of men, and in that environment alone, as a woman, the men are always trying to put you in your place and trying to tell you what to do, when to do it. So that's where I got to strengthen my voice. I had a voice, but that just honed that strong voice, and it just sharpened it. So yeah.
Yeah, I assume that when they push you, right? When they push you, you just deliver.
I push back harder. I push back harder.
Yeah, you mentioned that you worked, right, in the aeronaval industry for a while. Are you still working there, or you just quitted the job?
No, I left aviation for business because it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to venture out on my own, and especially with the industry I'm from. Aviation is very precise. There's a lot of red tape. You can't just do what you want. There's a lot of regulation. So in my mind, and I still believe it, the discipline and the precision that I was taught in aviation is what I try and apply in my business. What I try and it's almost like the quality management systems that I was taught in aviation is how I try and structure my business. I work in steps and I structure everything according to those standards that I was taught.
Did you have support when you just made up your mind about quitting the job and starting fresh? Did you feel that you had the support to do that?
Oh no, everyone was like, how can you quit such a good job? My family, everyone was like, this is a wrong move. You're going to regret it. It's going to be difficult. Everything's going to go wrong. And there were so many naysayers. And I think to an extent, maybe I also doubted myself and I believed some of that because things didn't just go easy because entrepreneurship is not an easy journey.
No.
There's a lot of failing, there's a lot of getting back up, there's a lot of encouraging yourself. So yeah, it's been a journey and I've enjoyed it. But I also say nothing I've learned in the past 7 years could have been taught to me in a classroom. There's no single module in any university that could have taught me what I've learned in these past 7 years. So no, I don't have any regrets, but it's been tough.
Can you just tell us a few of the hurdles and a few of the obstacles that you just faced along these years?
Oh, you know, the small things in entrepreneurship, having that funds to go around do marketing. Sometimes things will happen to you, like you're out of data, you're out of petrol, you are out of airtime, just to make that final one connection to push your business. Small things like that. And sometimes you know, when your bread and butter issues are not sorted, because sometimes there's no bread. And you've got this dream and it's only you that sees this clear picture perfect vision of where you need to be and where you need to take this business. But then things like there's no bread and the kids are coming, mommy, I'm hungry. So those challenges are the ones that it drives you, and it depresses you. There's a lot of depression amongst entrepreneurs because of those challenges. And sometimes there's not that support system, because your fellow entrepreneurs, you also know they're going through the same challenges, and family doesn't understand because they'll keep on asking you. 10 years later, they still asking you, why did you quit your job? Not understanding vision. You're trying to manifest, and you're trying to bring it into the reality, what is in your mind. So there's a lot of challenges. And then also securing funding. It costs a lot of money just to print profiles, to get to do the small little things to get a professional profile done. So those are some of the challenges that you face as an entrepreneur. And yeah, it gets, sometimes you want to give up and you tell yourself, I can't, let me just go find a job and yeah, let it be.
And Ronell, how did you find the support to just go through all that and just to be the where you are now? And how did you find the support?
I had to go back and work. I'll do temporary work for a year or two just to generate funds again to throw into the business, and then get the business going again. COVID came, everything went down, and then now I'm at the stage again, like I've been working a whole year again. I'll be able to push the business again. So but you stay resolute and you stay committed to your dream, because you know, and no one else knows it, because you've got the blueprint, that once you get it to where you want or need it to be, you know you are home free.
Well, I assume, and I guess it's like finding balance, right? Because even if you have a dream, we also have to be realistic about this dream, right? So it's like not burning out the boxes at once, or just being realistic and just focusing and saying, okay, this is my goal, but in order to get to this goal, I need to go through a process, which means that maybe I can just, be more supporting, or just be more into the job, and then, or just going back to work, just getting some fundings, right? Just going back to my dream. So it's, I guess, like a dream, dream reality balance there.
There needs to be a balance. We would all love to just spend all day trying to build the business and not worry about all the other things, but the bread still needs to be there, the bills still needs to get paid. So yeah, there needs to be a balance in order. You need to be able to juggle the two.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then as an entrepreneur, from what you're saying, from what I'm guessing, it's like you don't have really much governmental support, or just support from the administration, I assume.
Yes, it's because there's so many people. The unemployment rate in the country is very high. So everyone is trying out entrepreneurship. Let's just say the pool of people contending is very huge. So only the best ideas often get picked. Because I would go to pitches or do elevator pitches at events where they, for instance, should you win that session, you'll get funding just to boost the business again. I would attend those, and oftentimes it's very tough because everyone is now trying entrepreneurship. A lot of people have woken up to entrepreneurship. People have realized that you are able to build your own dream, or build the life of your dreams through entrepreneurship. So but I do have what I try and do just to get myself that extra mental support. I belong to organizations like the Coachability Foundation, which gives me amazing support in terms of tools on how to run the whole things, on how to keep on going on. And then also I try other things. I do small projects just to keep going on, because otherwise, if you're just going to sit with the dream and wait, it's never going to happen.
And you mentioned Coachability Foundation like a couple of times. from what I've been told and from what I know, you also have another project, and you also mentioned the project with it's the Bloody Toll project. I translated one of the articles about the Bloody Toll project, which I think is an amazing project, with really caring about your community on something so basic and so essential and so natural, right? In terms of women and society. Can you also please explain a little bit about this project?
Okay, I will do so. Okay, what happens in South Africa? 30% of girls, say between the ages of 9 and about 18, they miss out on about 3 days of school every month because of not having something as simple and basic as a sanitary pad, which is referred to as period poverty. Now what often happens, and I think the number is higher. I think what some of the girls would do, they would use things like cloths, toilet paper in order to be able to go to school, which is actually far more dangerous, which will lead to infertility, problems with the cervix and the uterus.
Yeah.
So as a project, Bloody Toll, as you can hear the name Bloody Toll, toll gates, it's taxing. Every time you go past it, it has to be, you get text. So the name is very catchy because it speaks to what is you being told, you have to pay to be a woman. And whereas in South Africa, condoms are free. Now, sex is a choice and menstruation is not.
It's not.
So
now I see there, your image was suddenly frozen. So I don't know what happened. So sorry, you can just go on about, you were talking about how, as you were saying, condoms are free enough in South Africa, which is so surprising. I mean, in a sense, it's also important. It's also important, but I guess not as important as what you were saying, right? It's like women pads or no, women toiletries. So it's crazy.
So the idea is to raise awareness about that. And yes, there are many projects also doing a similar thing, but we want to go hard at it. We want to raise awareness. We want the authorities to be aware that this is something that is unacceptable. Young girls cannot be missing out on contact time, and yet condoms are free. This is something that you choose to do. This young girl menstruates every month without fail, and it's not something she has control over. And you know, with menstruation, there is so many things that comes with it. There's the fear, the anxiety of messing on yourself. There's just, I think a whole organization should just be built around supporting women through menstruation, because it's a traumatic experience. The pain, there's just so many things that happen. The pimples and the PMS, there is really a lot that women goes through, young girls especially, because it's new to them when you go on your menstruation. So the whole idea about this is to build a strong base from which to tackle the issue of period poverty from, and grow it into something much bigger, raise awareness. Ultimately, I would like to see the Bloody Toll campaign not just being based in my community, but also duplicating it in other communities, teaching young girls about it, and getting these same young girls to teach their peers. So that's the whole purpose of the Bloody Toll event. So by the end of this month, definitely we're launching it, and from there we'll grow it. Yes.
And you talk about your community. How big is your community?
On the last census, there's about 40,000 people in this community. It's a township under the apartheid. This is where it's a mainly or predominantly colored area. Colored is a term referred to people that are not black, not white. They are in between. It's also an apartheid term, if I can put it like that. It's a community of mainly Afrikaans speaking, and English speaking people. So, but then the community let me say there's a lot of integration happening, because under the 40,000 that I counted, there's also what we call Regepak Extension 5, which is known as Ramaphosa, which is a predominantly a Black community. You know, I don't like these terms because I consider myself as a Black person. In this area now, you find your vernacular speaking communities, but it's all Regepak. So it's quite a large community with very few resources to share. And people have to manage and make do with what we have. But there's also a lot of budding entrepreneurs. People are trying out things. The economy is growing. There's a lot of things happening at the moment in the communities.
You mentioned about being like a growth in entrepreneurship right now. Is this does this have something?
Julia, you breaking up a bit. Can you just repeat that?
Yeah, sure. I was saying that you mentioned that it's been a growth in entrepreneuring lately.
Julia, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. What about you? Hi. Okay, it was just frozen again. So we were saying, right, we were talking about the importance of self-care, because basically it's not the topic of the conversation, just turns around and just goes around the same idea, like self-care, right? And how important that is.
Very important, very important. I think the world's next pandemic, not even that, it's currently happening. A lot of people are suffering from mental illness brought on by all these external things that we are going through. So yes, people are like the levels of mental illness at this stage, it's just alarming because people are going through so much. So it all comes down to self-care, self-love. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to be, because we are facing so many challenges. And it's easy to just lose yourself. It's easy to just go over the edge. Yeah, it's very important, self-care and self-love.
Ronell, where did you get the inspiration for all the projects you have, for yourself? So where do you find inspiration?
I have two little girls. I'm a mom to two girls. The one is turning 10 next month, and then the other one is turning 13 in November. They are two girls. They do very well at school. I'm very proud of them. So they are my why. In the mornings when I wake up, I preach to them the whole day. I always say to them, I'm always in your heads, because the world has so many problems. And I always say to them, I didn't bring more problems into this world. I brought solutions. So if you guys don't be a problem. If you cannot be a solution, at least don't be a problem. So, oops, so sorry.
No, it's okay. No worries.
So I always encourage them to show up as the best version of themselves. They are my why. They're the reason why, because I know those four little eyes are watching me, every move I make. And yes, I fight a lot with them because I want them to do the best for themselves, not for me. They must push themselves to become the best version of themselves. So that's what encourages me. I think every trial, all the adversities I faced, every adversity I still face, when I look at those four eyes, I just know I don't have a choice. I need to get up. Doesn't matter how hard, how painful it is. I need to get up and keep on going. And I need to. And also, we live in a world with so much, there's so much, when you look around. So when my God has blessed me with, I think I just naturally have an extra punch of positivity. So I try and always use that to other people. I see what they go through, and I want to change it. Oftentimes I think, or sometimes I ask myself, why am I so forward? I remember this instance where I walked into a Pick n Pay, and this white gentleman was abusing a black gentleman. And then I literally walked up to the guy and I told him, I insulted him, because I just felt like, why do you have to look down on someone or try and abuse someone because of the color of their skin. And same if I find a person body shaming somebody, I'm not scared to address them and tell them that it's wrong. So I feel for people, and oftentimes that's also what pushes me. So yeah, I can't keep quiet.
No, and I think it's amazing. You should keep like that. That's the best. That our voice, it's one of the only things that we truly own, right?
Yes.
So if you we should be really aware on how wise we have to use it, and how it's important not to waste our voice, and to use it properly, and to use it for a purpose, right? And to use it in the right way for us, and for society and the community as well.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Ronell, how creativity is important for you? Because Coachability Foundation, it's based mostly on how we can just help communities and developed societies, or in just specific situations. How creativity is important for you? How have you found inspiration in being creative to find solutions?
I think creativity is very important. It's an outlet. It's a way. It's almost like you give expression to your emotions when you're creative. All that pent up anger, frustration, you letting it out, and you're creating things. I think, if we can all just for a moment step outside of our problems and troubles, and just allow this, or take that very same problems and troubles and give it an outlet, it will turn into something beautiful. It will be a creative piece, in different forms. It doesn't have to be limited. So I think creativity is very, very, very important. Very.
Okay, and just my last question would be like, what are your tips to women like in the same situation as you are, and how would you encourage them to become entrepreneurs and to fight for what they just want to fight, and for their dreams?
Yes. What I would like to say to women is, we only have a certain number of days on this earth, on this plane, and when you leave, what's going to remember about you is not what you had, who you knew, but it's about how you made other people feel, what you did for others. So yes, we have challenges. Yes, we have pain. Yes, we have trauma. But create something that will encourage others. Create something that when people are in darkness, when they are going through tough times, and they look at it, it should be an encouragement, even if your voice is not here. But let you create positively those to the end. Julia, can you hear me? Are you still there?
Yeah, well, it's breaking up a bit. I mean, the last few sentences have been like a bit breaking up, but if you can just resume, like from the last 2-3 sentences you said. Now I'm hearing you perfectly, but for a few seconds you were broken up.
Okay, what I would encourage women, you need to create things that's going to outlive you, not tangible things, but how you make people feel, your legacy, how you impact the lives of others, how you positively change your environment, your society, your community. Do that, even if your voice is not able to encourage people 20 years from now, but let what you've created, projects, a charity work, let it encourage them. Let your work be an example to others and an encouragement. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically.
That's very, very important. So that's so appreciative for you to say. And we really, really, really thank you for your kind and wise words, Ronell. I give you all the support, and you know that you have all the support of Coachability Foundation, and to keep like fighting for your dreams, which is like the, no, it's called, we didn't say it's Full's Bliss.
Fabulous bliss.
Okay.
It's being full-figured, being fabulous, and being happy. That is our motto.
That's amazing. So what's next for you now? Next steps. You mentioned about you're trying to just finish the renovations from the school's community, and also you're launching the project on the Bloody Toll. What's coming up next, apart from these two projects for you?
Fabulous bliss. I'm definitely going to start up again the e-commerce. I'm going to go full force ahead. Because I have a very big launch. What I want to do is create an event that will become an annual event, whereby we have a parade. Basically, it's a plus size parade where plus size women will come wearing whatever makes them feel wow. I don't want them to come dressed in a skirt and sandals. No. If your alter ego is Catwoman, I want them to show up as Catwoman, or something similar to what they do in Brazil every year, the Carnival. I want them to show being wow, just coming there dressed as themselves and having that parade from one point to the other. And then after the parade, we're going to relax and socialize and interact. So that's the whole idea about how I want to launch Fabulous Bliss, basically relaunch it. I've never had a really big launch, but I want to give my everything to Fabulous Bliss this year. So we're going to have that launch. It's going to become an annual event. And yeah, that's my plan for Fabulous Bliss.
Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. It's so exciting. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Okay, Ronell, so thank you very much again from the bottom of the heart. I hope that you just can continue just being so powerful, so energetic, such a strong woman with a very, very, very wise voice. So I'll keep in touch. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. So I can't wait to see what the future is holding for you. So thank you very much. Okay, and we will keep connected.
Thank you for the interview, Ndlangamandla. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.